Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Scott's Selections here with StatSalt.com. It's currently Sunday, April 14th. I know the video is coming out a little bit later, but it's fine because the play of the day will be a night game. And as you can see by my shirt, we were repping with the Islanders gear as the Islanders were able to take a very commanding 3-0 series lead against the Pittsburgh Penguins, which makes me extremely happy. But just a quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up getting another win, our fourth in a row, as we had the Houston Astros -1.5 against the Seattle Mariners at -115. The line itself looked it looked expensive based on the fact that it was -1.5 and -115, so I thought that it definitely would be the right side. I did not expect the final to be 3-1. I thought the Astros would be able to generate more runs, but I'm not surprised Verlander shut down Seattle. And Houston, with Altuve in particular, the offense is finally clicking. They've won about 7 straight, and the Astros have definitely looked like the potential front runner so far this season to win the AL and to potentially win another World Series ring. But having said that, we are going to move on to our pick on Sunday, and we are actually going to be diving into the Stanley Cup playoffs in the late game, as we will be looking at the San Jose Sharks as they go ahead to take on the Vegas Golden Knights. And in this game, just a quick recap of how the series has gone so far. Series is currently 1-1, with Vegas winning the last game in San Jose. That game was extremely entertaining. Vegas was up 3-0 in the first period, and then the Sharks scored 3 goals in response in the first period for 6 goals in the first period before the Knights ended up scoring 2 more goals that went unanswered. But for this game in Vegas, we will be siding with the Vegas Golden Knights. However, the money line is a little bit expensive at -150, so we will be recommending. Some books have this, some books don't. I know 5 Dimes does it, so we will be using 5 Dimes for this line. We will be taking the Vegas Golden Knights -1, which is available at +109 at 5 Dimes. In other words, if they win by 1, it's a push. If they win by more than that, you win. But we will be taking the -1. And the logic here is I did not like what I saw at all from the Sharks. Even though the Sharks were able to win the first game of this series, the Sharks on just defensively have looked completely lost, and Vegas, particularly Mark Stone, have done a great job at attacking the Sharks defense. I've seen a lot of on-man rushes for Vegas in the first 2 games, and also not to mention the fact that the power play went, I believe it was 0 for 8 in the last game, and they gave up 2 shorthanded goals. Definitely not a good sign for San Jose, especially when you have Carlson and Burns back there along with Pavelski. That power play should be playing a lot better. And you give up 2 shorthanded goals. Definitely not a good sign for the Sharks moving forward. Yep, the Sharks ended up actually going 1 for 8 on the power play. Still not a good sign, but it's still not a good sign, but it is what it is. That's why we will be siding with the Golden Knights. And not to mention the fact that the Golden Knights have actually received very solid goalkeeping from Marc-Andre Fleury so far in this postseason. And I don't really know what the story is with the Sharks goalies because of the fact that Jones was awful in the previous 2 games, but Dell ended up getting subbed in and he was awful as well. So I don't really know where the Sharks are going to be going with, but either or both their goalies struggled dramatically in Game 2. And it's also important to mention that Vegas has one of the best home ice advantages in all of hockey, as everybody knows, as they were able to use that momentum and use the home crowd to make it to the Stanley Cup final last year before losing to the Capitals. Overall, this line, I think that the Vegas Golden Knights should be favored by a lot more than -150 in terms of money line. I think they should be favored by roughly 180, 190. Because based on what I saw last game, I know some people follow the zigzag theory, where if the team wins Game 2, you bet against them Game 3 because hockey tends to switch. But based on the fact that this will be the first game in Vegas for the playoffs this season, you know that entire arena is going to be rocking down to T-Mobile, and I have to assume that Vegas will win this game relatively easily. I do think that the -1.5 makes sense if you want extreme value, but for the sake of a relatively safe pick, we will be recommending the Vegas Golden Knights -1, which is available at +109, I believe. Yes, it is available at +109 at 5 Dimes. But that's going to do it for this installment of Scott Selections here on April 14th. If you like the daily content, don't forget to like and subscribe, as we will be providing you with daily betting content in the future. And with that being said, good luck to all of you and your respective bets this Sunday. See you guys.